final Raw. So this Raw is a Raw that is really going to live in the history books. This is a Raw that we're going to remember for a long, long time. And actually, there was a lot of things that went down before Raw even began, right? So here you can see all these chairs. These are the front rows in Madison Square Garden, getting ready for John Cena's final farewell. This was Cena's final Raw, and of course, his final time in Madison Square Garden. We might see Cena again in a wrestling ring, in a WWE ring, but he won't be competing, and he won't be wearing the jorts, and he won't be wearing the brightly coloured shirt. Like, he is leaving all of that behind him. So, you know, this is obviously very, very special, very, very emotional. We also had this backstage. So there were these big cubes. We do have a better picture later, actually, backstage, and they had all the magazine covers where John was on the front of them. They had lots of little bits around Madison Square Garden, lots of signs and signage and posters and just loads of different things. But yeah, this was like a cube that they had that had all these John Cena magazine posters on. Another one we've got is here. You can see another video, signage. Here you can see one last time at the world's most famous arena. And we've got all these images. I think they're classic, iconic MSG John Cena moments. So you can see, look, John Cena's final Raw. Loads of images backstage. Becky was freaking out, right? So here's a fun clip of Becky before the show started.
But this guy, what has he ever done for the business? You got this and this. You got Cody twice? This guy.
Yeah.
Here we go.
See you at Schultz
That's better. Huh? Yeah.
So there was Becky backstage, not happy with all the pictures. Some of them of John, some of them of Punk, some of them of Cody. She popped that on there so that she was represented. Right, two of John Cena's most pivotal career moments, they went down at Madison Square Garden. So he beat Big Show at WrestleMania 20 to win his first championship. And he made his unexpected return at the 2008 Royal Rumble. So two of John Cena's biggest ever moments going down at MSG. We got this as well. So this was outside here of actually tweeted out by Madison Square Garden. So sold out. So someone doing the You Can't See Me, and you can see the graphic there on MSG, the world's most famous arena. That was really, really cool. All of this is just giving you a taste of kind of what the vibe was like before Raw even began, right? Christopher, thank you. So here, Netflix just dropped the greatest graphic of all time. So there's the jorts being raised up, going up as like all the other banners that they hang in the rafters. There are John Cena's jorts being lifted up. So yeah, very cool. Here's the numbers for tonight's show. So current setup, 18,100. 18,100 tickets were sold. The average for this year is 11,800. So the cheapest ticket was $177. Like, they made a lot of money from this show tonight. John Cena's final Raw. But as we would find out, it would be absolutely stacked. Before the show even started, Wrestlevotes said word backstage is that John is going to wrestle, but it won't be for the IC Championship. TC of Wrestlevotes said an Irishman, a Mexican, and a goat walk into a bar. So it seems like Wrestlevotes had heard Sheamus, Ray, John was the plan. And obviously that would prove to be the match, right? We've also got Solo arriving. So here's Solo. Fans are cheering. He just gives a "You Can't See Me." There was a few of those tonight. A few you can't see me's being dished out. Then we saw the show actually start. Here we had Logan in what looked to be like a shield vest, some sort of like tactical vest, some sort of bulletproof vest. He arrived with the Vision along with Paul Heyman. And then, of course, we would get to the opening part of the show, John Cena. On his t-shirt, it says John Cena's final Raw. He did just show that to the camera. Brilliant reaction, as you can imagine, when John came out. Really good, really emotional. Brilliant moment. Cena gets in the ring. That was the shirt that he was wearing. That's his farewell to New York, farewell to Madison Square Garden shirt. Thank you, Cena chants breaking out from the crowds. Crowds honestly just drinking up this moment. But it wasn't long, actually, until Dominik came out. And I thought it was a bit of a shame that we kind of jumped to that so quickly. I would have liked to have kind of dug into a bit more from Cena, a few more words from him. Maybe we're saving that for the final appearance. But it was a bit of a shame, I thought, that we went so quickly into this. Last week, you were handed a title shot, just like you've been handed everything else. So basically, Dominik wants the rematch, and the rematch was made. So Cena, Dominik, IC Championship, Survivor Series. So the match was not going to be going down tonight. It's been made for Survivor Series. I'm a little bit split on this. I'm not a big fan of John having multiple matches against the same person, but I think Dominik might be a bit of an exception because he is obviously such a big future prospect. He is currently the AAA Mega Champion, right? But he's also been the IC Champion this year. Dominik's aura keeps building, and so it's hard to be down on Cena having a couple of matches with Dom. It's just when you think of all the people he still has got to face and he won't face, like, apparently he's not going to be facing Bron Breakker. He's not going to have a match with Miz. He's not going to have a match with Sheamus. He's not going to have a match with Finn. It is a bit annoying when you look at that and go, we're doing 2 Dominik matches. Like, couldn't we have found a way of, like, doing the Dominik match at Survivor Series and maybe giving someone else that match last week? You know, we've already done 2 Cody matches this year. Now we're doing 2 Dominik matches. We only had 30-odd dates, and we did throw away a lot of those earlier in the year by not doing matches. He just did promos. So that would be my only grumble. But it's hard to be down on this. Dominik is obviously very well liked. I don't think people are going to be really down on it, but there might be the odd word said about it when you think of all the people that he is not going to be able to step in the ring and face. So that was Survivor Series. So that meant that we were very interested then, who is he going to be facing on Raw? Judgment Day would come down. They would start beating up on John. And then, of course, to the rescue would come Sheamus, would come Rey Mysterio, and we would get a 6-person tag match. Now, we did a poll during our watch along, and people were not thrilled. This is not what people were looking for, right? People really wanted John to have one of those matches against Braun or against Bronson or, you know, against, like, some of those people, some of those names that we mentioned, a Drew McIntyre, a Rey Mysterio, or a Sheamus as a singles match. I mean, the frustrating thing here was that John spent a lot of the time in this match standing on the outside of the ring. We was watching Sheamus going off on JD McDonagh. We were watching Finn Balor and Dominik Mysterio with Rey, but everyone wanted to see John. So that was the frustrating part. What I will say is it might not have been the match that we wanted, but they still gave their all, and this match really delivered. Like, if you watch the match, I think a lot of people would agree it was really fun. So we did a poll, and people said they hated this match. That's what won our poll. I said, do you love it? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Or do you not know? Hate it came out as top. Second place was don't know, right? Bottom was love it. So the people in our community were not thrilled by this match originally. But when they watched it, they enjoyed it. Everyone gave everything here. This is John's last match. It's very important, and it was fun. So you lot said it was great 55. Not even the best scoring match on this show, actually. That honor went to Gunther and Javon later in the show. But, yeah, people still got something from it. So it wasn't like a complete waste. We got a triple five-knuckle shuffle. So, yeah, Sheamus switching with John, putting John in the middle. And then they all did the five-knuckle shuffle, which was really good. Few moments in here with Dom and Ray that I enjoyed. And there we go. The baby faces pick up the victory. We then get a few final shots there. That was a good camera angle, actually. That was the entranceway, and you could see the crowd in the background. There's Ray, there's Sheamus, there's John. John would just turn around to the camera before he would walk away. He would point to the camera. He would say, Monday Night Raw. That's all she wrote. I love you. And he walked away. And that was John done on Raw. I know we spent a lot of time talking about that. In my mind, this Raw needed nothing else. You could have ended the episode there. This was John Cena's final Raw. And we gave a good 40-odd minutes to the promo, the setup of the match, That was the first part of this show. It took up a lot of time, as it should have. And this was a real moment, man. I really felt it. It does make me wonder how I'm going to react in December. I mean, I like Cena. I've never been a Cena hater. I've never been Cena's biggest fan. I like him, right? I have no issue with him. But, I've just watched him and he's just been ever present. I think I got into wrestling before John. So John's not my everything. I was watching Shawn and Undertaker and Hogan and Luger and, 92, 93, like a long time before John. And I was watching the Attitude Era. And then, of course, John comes along, Ruthless Aggression. So John, to me, is not my everything. But he is a massive part of WWE. And he is a massive part of what I have watched. And it's just weird, isn't it? It's just weird to see him walk away. And what a lovely line. I thought it was great. We did just get to see that cube that we looked at earlier. There it is backstage. They just showed it again. And then we had Sheamus just put this out. Thank you, Cena. Thank you, MSG. Now, at the time of recording this, Cena hasn't put a message out. I think he will, but he hasn't put a message out yet. So there we go. That was the open of the show. That was all the Cena stuff. And it was very, very powerful. Okay, let's move on, shall we? Because this show had loads of other talking points. That was all the Cena stuff, right? Then we went to this bit. So in the crowd, we had Andrew Schultz and the New York Giants. During commercial break, they got into it with Judgment Day. I don't know if this is leading anywhere or going anywhere. But, they started pushing each other, getting in each other's faces. It was kind of really crazy. Big brawl. They end up separating. But one of the people that was in that crowd was Cam Scatterbo, right? And they've actually got some merch for him, right? So WWE Shop selling this merch for Cam Scatterbo, who I believe is a New York Giant, right? I've heard he's out injured at the moment. So I don't know if that's going to go anywhere, if that's going to lead to some weird Raw match in the future. But yeah, that was kind of crazy. All went down during the commercial break. They showed it when we came back from commercial break. Okay, Heyman backstage said, if you didn't like my pick of Drew, you're really not going to like who I pick next. I think we were all expecting Brock at this point. He had long been rumoured to be joining into the team. So, yeah, these two look at the contracts and they were like, oh, boy, this is going to be something, right? So I think we were all expecting Brock. And, of course, he would arrive at the end of the show. Stephanie would make her way out. Nikki would attack her. She said, I didn't come back to cheer on the sidelines. I came back to take what's mine, and that's the division. So, I don't know. It's weird, this one. I don't think Stephanie loses to Nikki, but Nikki is definitely a star, a legend, a name. It's a good person for Stephanie to get a win against. So, not down on it, but it's probably not going to be the banging match that people are looking for. This is probably Stephanie just building up her resume, getting a good name on there that she's beaten. So I can sort of see the reason for it, but equally, I wouldn't be shocked if people are a bit down on this, right? Kind of like, oh, this is not the match I'm looking for Stephanie. But you got to remember, we're trying to build her aura up. We're trying to introduce her to people that don't know who she is. And her getting a win over Nikki is probably not a bad thing, right? Obviously, she can move on to other things after that. So I expect Stephanie to get the victory. So Nikki just tweeting out, I hope you're all listening now. It's only just the beginning. Backstage, we had Asuka go up to Bayley and basically say, look, do you want to be on my team? I'm willing to put everything aside. I'm willing to forgive. Do you want to join our team? And Bayley kind of shot her down, said she wasn't interested, right? And Kairi responded. Crispy said, how can you not love Kairi? So Asuka walked away. There's Kairi doing the you can't see me right in Bayley's face. And just a fun little backstage moment there from Kairi. Yes, Solo in the ring. Who's the mystery man? Dolph Ziggler. I'm not down on this. I know there were crazy theories. People wanted Jericho, Edge, bonkers theories, right? But, listen, if you've been watching WWE for a while, you kind of always know to just turn your expectations down a little bit. For me, this was going to be Dolph Ziggler, Joe Hendry, or maybe a Jeff Hardy. I would have loved Jeff Hardy, right? It was going to be one of those TNA guys. We had Matt Cardona on Friday. It turned out to be Dolph Ziggler. He got such a good reaction. Really good reaction. Deserved huge pop, said Crispy Wrestling. New merch as well. So here's new Dolph Ziggler merch. Dolph Ziggler, I'm too good. It's a nice shirt, actually. It's a pretty cool shirt. I don't mind it at all. So there we go. They would get underway. You lot said this match was good 96. Weakest match on the card, according to you guys. There was only 4 matches. One was obviously the amazing Gunther match. The other one was for a championship. The other one was John Cena. So I think it's understandable that this one came out as just good 96. Solo defeats Dolph Ziggler to move on in the tournament. Of course, backstage, we get the picture of Triple H pointing at Dolph. Another garden moment made. Another show stolen. So there we go. Triple H backstage with Dolph. I don't think he's back now. Obviously, we heard that Zack Ryder was just a one-off. I think the same is probably true here as well. This was good during commercial break. Grayson Waller started choking. He was like, and he said, sorry, it's just because I'm in the garden. That always happens in the garden. Just like how the Knicks choked in the playoff. And of course, they got heat. So he was wearing this indie shirt, which I don't know if that's like the actual indie basketball team shirt. I really liked it. I thought it looked really good. I like the font and everything, the way it looks. I thought it looked really smart. But they were just obviously getting a bit of cheap heat. So there we go. New Day and Grayson did make their presence felt. Little Yachty showed off that he had a PSP, and it looked to be SmackDown Raw 2006. Which is a great game. So he looked like he was just showing that off to the camera, which was really cool. Little Yachty had 2006 SmackDown versus Raw ready to go. Very good. Okay, backstage, we had Alexa, and there was no sign of Charlotte. Obviously, we know that Charlotte walked away on Friday. She said she couldn't do this, and, she couldn't team with Rhea, and so she ended up walking away. Alexa in the ring obviously was confronted by Nia, Lash, the Kabuki Warriors. They would come down. They would start attacking. Down would come Io. Down would come Rhea. We would get this big brawl, and then eventually down would come Charlotte Flair. I do find this a little bit weird. It kind of feels like it's aimed at 8-year-old girls. It's kind of like a whole friendship thing. I mean, Alexa calls Charlotte her best friend, and I do find myself sometimes looking at these segments going, what am I watching? I feel like I've slipped into like a My Little Pony storyline. You know, I feel like I'm watching like Care Bears brought to life. Like, who cares? This whole friendship and all that kind of stuff, like, it is a bit weird to me, to be honest. I mean, clearly it's going to resonate with some people out there. It's going to resonate with kids. It's going to resonate with Alexa fans, Charlotte fans, people like that, right? But I don't know. To me, I just don't give a flip if they're friends or not friends. I couldn't care less, right? Makes no difference to me. So I wasn't bothered if Charlotte came down or didn't come down, but she did come down. And then we just had this sort of moment here. I mean, I do think back to when we had Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan and everyone around. Macho Man Randy Savage. And, you know, now we've just got best friends embracing in the ring. But listen, it was what it was. It's fine. I'm not bothered by it, but not something that I probably would have booked if I was booking. Charlotte came down with these wild pants. People making a bit of fun. Charlotte Flair has arrived. It was very hippie-ish. It did feel like she had just been selling candles. So she came down to make the save. Then we got the announcement that it is going to be Stephanie against Nikki at Survivor Series. We also got the announcement that it is going to be John Cena against Dominik Mysterio at Survivor Series. So obviously, it looks like we've got, for the women's War Games, the 4 heels and the 4 baby faces. We need to add 1 woman to each side. The rumors are AJ Lee is going to the baby faces. Becky Lynch is going to the heels. And so that seems to be the direction there. When it comes to the men, we sorted those teams out tonight, and we will, of course, get to that. Henry, thank you. Henry noticed that Shane McMahon was actually spotted at Raw tonight. And it is true, he even tweeted out. So Shane McMahon and his son are in attendance, honoured to be at MSG with my son Rogan to celebrate a true legend in the business. And my friend, thank you, Cena. So Shane and Shane's son were there to celebrate John Cena. Right, then we went to our third match, Becky against Maxxine. You lot said this was great 55. Becky came out, went over to commentary, picked up the John Cena doll, said, "I'm the best that ever lived," right in the face of the Cena doll, which was pretty fun. She went over to Maxxine, got in Maxine's face during the intro, and then we were underway with the match. At one point, the Fireflies came out, and basically it wasn't just the Fireflies that came out. AJ Lee came out, and that distraction would allow Maxxine to pick up the victory. So AJ Lee is back. She just cost Becky Lynch the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Maxxine Dupri is the new champion. So Maxxine becomes the new champion. Here we are backstage with Triple H. He's doing the pointing thing. Winning your first title from a multi-time world champion at the world's most famous arena. It doesn't get bigger than that. This is the Garden. Congratulations, Maxxine. Then here, look, we can see Trish said she did it. Hard work always pays off. Congratulations, Maxxine. Proud of you. Okay. And then we've just got some new shirts, or a new shirt for AJ Lee, your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler. Now, it's no secret, I hate this. I think this is one of the stupidest things that I have seen in a long, long time. Maxxine Dupri as Intercontinental Champion makes no sense to me whatsoever. I think there are so many other women on the roster that deserve it more than she does. I can tell you she's had 12 singles matches this year. A quarter of those, 3 of them, have been against Becky in the past couple of weeks, right? A lot of those other matches have taken place on main events, or they've taken place on house shows, and they've been about 5 minutes long. There has been no building up of Maxxine before this whatsoever. This hard work, we've not seen it. We're just having to listen to Natalya tell us that she's put the work in. I mean, there's been no video packages of hard work. There's been no momentum. There's been no series of wins to kind of build Maxxine up as a challenger. And if you want to get Maxxine over, then putting her in there with Becky makes a lot of sense. And her having good matches makes a lot of sense. But putting the belt on her, I just don't get this. I don't understand. It feels like she's been over pushed to me. I'm not on board with this at all. I am just looking forward to getting this belt off her. This feels like Jake Paul has just beaten Anthony Joshua in my mind. And the fact that it's happened due to a distraction doesn't even make Maxxine seem like that big deal to me. It seems like she's not a worthy champion. Like, if this match was normal, Becky would have won. That means that Maxxine is a lucky champion, an undeserving champion. She's got the belt because of a distraction. I just don't get it. I don't understand what we're trying to do. I think we're trying to build up Maxxine, but I think we're going OTT. I think we've pushed too hard. Rather than slowly build her, give her some wins against low-level competition, build her up a bit more, get her looking good against Becky. She falls short, but she'll get her next time. You know, the normal journey that we take with people. We haven't done that. Instead, we've barely used her on TV this year. Then out of nowhere, given her some matches with Becky. And then in matches that she would have lost, we've had her win the belt. And this is something we're meant to celebrate. I just don't get it. I just don't understand. And you're seeing a lot of people like Natalya and Trish and people coming out. I mean, look, make no mistake about it. She's popular backstage. They like her. The roster are going to rally around her. This is Maxxine, lovely girl, right? We wish her all the best. She puts work in. She's one of the good guys, right? So the roster are rallying around her. You're seeing a lot of comments, as I said, Natalya, Trish. I think also I saw one come in from a few SmackDown stars. Kiana James, I think, put one out, for example. But as a viewer following the story, it just doesn't add up to me. This doesn't build her up to be like a credible champion at all. If anything, I see her as a weak champion. And I feel like you've overpushed her. And I don't find myself warming to her or rallying for her. I find myself just wanting to get that belt off of her and get it on someone that I feel is truly deserving. Because in my mind, all the talent should be working hard. You've done nothing to tell me what Maxxine has done that's extra. You've done nothing to convince me that she is doing anything above and beyond what every other girl is doing. I mean, if you're telling me hard work gets rewarded, then am I meant to believe that Zelina Vega doesn't put in hard work? Am I meant to believe that Ivy Nile is just, sat at home on a couch? Just, what does she not put in hard work? Like, I don't know, Michin? Is Michin lazy? Does she not give a flip? What about Candice LeRae? Does she not care? What is it about Maxxine that has got her this opportunity that did not get the other girls the opportunity? Like, I don't get it. I just don't understand. So this was not for me. I really thought this dragged the show down. I would have much rather that Becky had retained and then have AJ come out to stop Becky from beating up on Maxxine. Have Maxxine fall just short. Really good performance. Continue to build her. If you want to get her to the IC title, let's meet this time next year. But, or maybe in the summer. But, I don't know. This wasn't for me. I thought it was a real mistake. But the IWC are going to like it. The IWC seem to have really taken to Maxxine. I don't get it. But, you know, they must have seen something I've not seen. I thought the matches were fine. I didn't even think the matches were that special. And honestly, you put her in there with a lesser talent than Becky, or a lot of these people saying she's improved. You might get your eyes opened when you actually see Maxxine in there with someone that's not Becky Lynch. I mean, Becky Lynch is one of the best in the business. Her selling, her work rate is bringing out the best in her opponents. That's why Maxxine's looking exceptional, is because Becky's making her look exceptional. So, don't know, man. I really struggled with that. Moving on, though, we had Gunther. He came back with his old music, which was really good to see. I don't think, though, that it is quite the old music because I don't remember it being... I think it might be the old music, but a different parts. The open sounds the same, but then it gets all very flowery. I don't know. I don't know why we can't just go back to the exact same music that we had in NXT. I'd have to go back and re-listen to it. But to me, it felt a little different. To me, it was not quite exactly identical. It just felt a little bit like the start was the same and then the rest sounded a little bit different. Like it's the same piece of music, but a different section, a different segment. So, but yeah, better. I used to love how he was presented down in NXT and NXT UK. So I think that's a really positive change. I'm not sure this is a positive change. There was people saying he looks a bit like Viscera, right? So as soon as that music hit, Javon, it might not be your night. Now, I don't think this was ever going to be Javon's night. There's big rumors that Gunther is going to be the winner of this tournament. And his creative humor, Gunther in a silk robe, were just one step away from him being the new Viscera. So WWE creative humor, very good. Right, Volta chants from the crowd was a bit unexpected. I thought we'd long moved past Volta chants. I wonder if it was the music change that kind of got us those Volta chants. So we had the Volta chants. We were underway with Gunther against Javon. Javon, obviously, what a talent. Showing how amazing he is. Diving through the ropes. Bang! Getting hurled into the edge of the ring there. Gunther is so back. Gunther, obviously, one of the absolute best in-ring talents. Putting on a Boston Crab. Crowd were chanting Y2J was a bit random. But basically, Gunther ends up getting the victory. He moves on in the tournament. But brilliant little showcase for Javon. You lot scored this match very highly. You said it was great. 78. You really, really enjoyed it. Backstage, Becky, she lights a fire in me that I forgot I had. So those were the comments from AJ Lee. And then Rhea came over and said, have you got a second to chat? So we're going further down that road of AJ joining up with Rhea and Alexa and Io and whatnot. And on the other side, as we said, we're expecting Becky to join. Then we went over to a new CM Punk little vignettes. So he gets his own little commercial. I'm the only one at this table that's the best in the world. So there we go. He got his own little one. So coming up next Monday, Solo will take on either Finn or Penta. And then we also found out Gunther is going to take on either Carmelo or Bronson. Then we got to our main event. So we were done with the matches, and it was just time for our final segment. In the crowd, they showed Gangsta Granny. So Gangsta Granny. I mean, if she puts in some hard work, perhaps they'll put the IC belt on her next. I'm not sure. But Gangsta Granny was shown in the crowds. Then we brought down the heels. We had Braun, we had Bronson, we had Logan, we had Drew. They were all in the ring. And so then we brought down, obviously, Cody, Punk, and the Usos. And then we got this massive brawl in the ring. So obviously, we wondered who was about to come out. And of course, it was Brock Lesnar. The beast incarnate came down. And then it looked like the show was going to end. He came down. We even got the little trademark thing in the corner. Green shirt guy was in attendance. And then boom, out came Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns came down. OTC chants. We got a Superman punch out of Roman. It brawled outside. We had police. I mean, there's so much. You can see Logan getting choked out by a flipping kendo stick. We went through the barricades as well. A big spear through the barricades. So we've got our Survivor Series teams. Punk, Cody, Usos, Roman against Braun, Bronson, Logan, Drew, and Brock. So, yes, Austin Theory misses out. Austin Theory misses out. I wonder what that means for Austin Theory. New Roman Reigns shirt. There it is, look. Tribal Chief, OTC. New Roman Reigns shirt. And Liv Morgan. A lot of people surprised she wasn't around. But apparently she wasn't in New York. She was never scheduled to appear. And that was the show. I mean, we got all of this. Fade said, I might have spoke too soon. Raw is on fire. We had John Cena, and we got that match. We had Dolph Ziggler. We had a banger. We had Brock Lesnar. We had the Maxxine moment. We had Roman. We had AJ Lee. I mean, listen, if it's talking points you want, this show absolutely delivered. In that regard, it's got to be up there in the 7s and the 8s. I am really not a big fan of the Maxxine moment. I think we've over-pushed it. I don't like AJ kind of coming in and costing Becky. It's not how I would have brought AJ back, but it's always lovely to see her. Brock, Roman, fine, banger, like that. Not what I would have done with John. I don't think that 6-man tag was the right final Raw match for him. But I don't know. I mean, it was what it was. Lots of talking points. I'm going to say this probably settles at a 7.5, 7.25. I got my grumbles, which brings my score down. But the sheer volume of talking points means that this is still going to pick up a really good score. Of course it is. And yeah, I don't know. I just hope that people enjoyed it, got something from it. And as I said, I hope that this was a show that people felt like they didn't waste their time with. I certainly don't feel like I wasted my time. I feel like this is one of those shows where if someone jumps in and goes, did I miss anything? You'd be like, blimey now, where do I start? You know? A lot of people saying that the live crowd got burnt out after the first, 40-odd minutes. I think they were there at points, but you could understand. I mean, I don't know, man. This was John Cena's final Raw, and they gave us so much more than that. It is quite a surprise. So, yeah, I'm going to settle on a 7.25, probably more 7.5. And that was this week's Raw. So, thanks for joining us for the breakdown. Really appreciate it. I know this was longer than usual. I don't mind that. I think it deserves to be longer than usual when you're talking about John Cena's last ever Raw. I think this has definitely earned that. So, yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for joining us, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.